Message in a Bottle. I want to take a look at that today. It's a great exercise. This is not really a beginner's tune, but we can practice the riff slower than like the real speed. So I like to have people play this, playing what you could almost call extended power chords. They're really suspended two chords, but they're shaped like power chords, two notes a fifth apart, with another note a fifth higher. So you've got your first and third or first and second fingers 2 frets apart, and then your little finger 2 frets higher than that. So it is a bit of a stretch to play these chord shapes in here. We'll take a look at them in just a second. The rest of the song can really just be played with power chords, real chords, full bar chords if you like, and then you still really need some bar chords near the end. So anyway, I want to do a little bit of an instructional thing here on Message in a Bottle. We'll take a look at what the left hand has to do, what the right hand has to do, and then we'll put it together and play through it all kind of slowly. So let's take a look at what you need, with the tools you need for Message in a Bottle. There we have these extended chords that we need in Message in a Bottle. They are basically power chords. A power chord being 2 notes, 2 frets apart, and 1 string apart. This is a fifth. I'm playing C sharp, so I'm at the 4th fret of the 5th string. A normal C sharp power chord would be just these 2 notes. Now what I need though is another note 1 string higher and 2 frets higher. Now this is a bit of a stretch. You could either choose to finger this with your 1st, 3rd, and 4th fingers, or your 1st, 2nd, and 4th fingers. Whichever of these feels more comfortable, whether you'd rather have a 2 fret spread between your 1st and 2nd finger, and then your 4th up here, or between your 3rd and 4th, and have a more comfortable spread back here. So one way or another, you need to play the 4th fret, the 6th fret, and the 8th fret of the 5th, 4th, and then 3rd strings. So then we're going from a C sharp shape like that to an A shape, which would be then at the 5th fret here, and everything moves up, to a B, which would be at the 7th fret, and then the same thing down at F sharp. Now the biggest key to this song though is that as you play those chords, you don't try to slap that chord down all at once. You put them down as you need them. So you always go 1 finger at a time in Message in a Bottle. I wouldn't even start with my hand like this, because that's not how I'm going to be able to do it once the song starts. So I'm going to just put them down as I go and play from the 4th fret to the 6th, to the 8th, and then just get this 1, and then I have plenty of time to move to the next 2. At the end, the little finger slides up from the 6th fret to the 7th. So, very slowly, that's the idea. You lay them down one at a time as you go. Now the rest of the song can be played either just using power chords with the A, D, and E. Later on, F sharp. I've got it labeled F sharp minor, but you can play just an F sharp power chord down here at the 2nd fret and a D chord here at the 5th fret. Then we do have, but those would also all sound better as full bar chords, where you would strum usually just 4 strings of them. So here I'm playing the A in the E shapes at the 5th fret, the D in the A shapes at the 5th fret, and the E also in the A shapes at the 7th fret. Play the F sharp minor down here at the 2nd fret and the D back here. Then for the C sharp minor, it'd be a bar at the 4th, shaped like an A minor chord. And in that section, we'll talk about this more in the right hand, but in that section, all you're going to do is strum the chord and let it ring for 4 beats, and then go to A, which would be barred at the 5th again, in the E shapes. If you're not very comfortable yet with bar chords, this is a great place to practice playing them, the C sharp minor to A section, which is basically the end, the chorus when he's singing Message in a Bottle. Because all you have to do is strum it and hold it for 4 beats, while you could take all 4 of those beats to get ready to play the next one. You don't have to keep a strumming pattern going or anything there. So that's what the left hand's going to be doing in Message in a Bottle. We'll take a look at the right hand, and then we'll very slowly play through the whole thing. If you'd rather play it as power chords, no problem. If you want to play it as the full bars, it's a good workout for bar chords. So I think that's it. That's all we need to know. So, in Message in a Bottle, we're going to be alternating downs and ups at the speed of eighth notes for the opening riff. Now what's happening there is we've got, again, this extended power chord, a suspended 2 chord, and I'm going to be going down, up, oops, get the right notes, Neil. Down, up, down, on the first 3 notes, all part of the C sharp suspended 2 chord. Now the next note is on an and, so I'm going to have to catch it as an up on the 6th string right when I've moved my hand. Now that note is tied to another one, so now all I have to do, I have to miss a down and catch another up and a down there. So what we have for in the first measure and a half, or really the first measure, then I have to move very quickly to the 7th fret with another up and another up down, move sliding down to the 2nd fret. So, the right hand, very tricky here because you're always playing 4 notes in a row, or the first note of each chord is an up, except for at the very beginning. Down, up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, slide. So really important that you get that technique going with the right hand. That's part of what makes this song actually very difficult. The rest of it is just pounding away either on power chords, okay, or the whole chord. Now if you're playing just the power chord, I'd like to stay anchored here, either grabbing the first string or with my little finger there, so that I'm just taking a very controlled strum here at just 2 strings. But if you're playing the whole chord, get away. Everything down. Mostly, again, the lowest 4 strings on any chord. Like right here, I'm an F sharp minor, so I'm aiming for just these 4 strings. On the D, I'm aiming for these 3 or possibly 4. Yeah. Now, when it comes to C sharp minor, though, we want to strum the whole chord. 2, 3, 4, and the A at the 5th fret. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then the F sharp minor at the end. Now, after 2 measures of that, I have to be able to kick right back into and again, as I talked about in the left hand, if you could watch how my left hand is putting the notes down just ahead of my right hand, I'm not doing this, where I just move the whole chord as one. That's way too much work. It's going to sound bad. So, 1 finger at a time. Left hand I'm talking about here. So, that's all we have pretty much going on with the right hand in Message in a Bottle. So putting that together now for Message in a Bottle, we've got our extended power chords here, the sus2 chords, and again, talked about alternating the picking down and up and making sure that you put your fingers down here in the order that you're going to play them, not slapping down the whole chord at once. So to play through this very slowly, we have, the recording does actually 8 of these. When I play through this with a metronome in a second, I'm going to do less of them. But you need to just practice this exercise. That slow. Then, after 4 or 8 of those, however many you decide you want to do, you go into the chords. Again, either playing power chords to D and changing to E early on. It'd be 8 beats of A, 8 eighth notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then to D for just 4, 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th one we get to the E. The E happens early, so the D to E measure would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 sets of those. Is that right? Yeah. 2 sets of those. Then 3 sets of F sharp minor or just an F sharp power chord. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, D. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 sets of those, and then either 4, 6, 7, 9, however many we decide we want to do, depending on if we're trying to play it with a recording or not, of C sharp minor and A. Now, this is a good time, if you're not very comfortable yet with bar chords, this is a good time to practice them, because that C sharp minor, just put it on, bar at the 4th fret, and your other fingers shaped like an A minor chord, strum 5 strings, and just let it ring for the whole measure. And during that time, be starting to work on the next chord, which is barred at the 5th, shaped like an E, which would make it an A chord. So all you have to be able to do there is get the chord 1 stroke, and now I could be moving and getting this down and be ready to hit it with us as we played along here with the metronome in just a second. So we're going to play this snail's pace. I'm going to I have my metronome set for 80. This is going to seem painful, but I want you to be able to do it at that speed. Then you work on speeding it up yourself. So I will play the top part 4 times, the A to D part twice, the F sharp minor to D 3 times, and then when I get to the C sharp minor, we'll make a decision. So let me hear what 80 is going to sound like. It's going to be something, something sound probably like this. That's what we're shooting for. 2, 3, 4. More of those. C sharp minor. Let's hit the F sharp minor now. Then we'll be back to the top. So practice playing that at that speed and then gradually work your way up. After you've got it to where you can play with me, that whole little set there at 80, practice at 82, 84, 86, eventually get it to 100. I don't even know how fast the record goes, but you can try it along with it. And the arrangement that I have there in the tablature was kind of taken from the YouTube video where they said was the first time they'd ever played it live. It was at a college show that they did in England in 1976, 77, 78? I don't know. I forgot. I didn't pay attention. Anyway, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed playing Message in a Bottle. I have a lesson up here with me working on with my student Kevin a little bit on it, and that might help you a little bit because I think as we were looking at it, it was the first time he'd ever messed with it. So anyhow, that's it for Message in a Bottle. Good luck.